Hi, I'm Adventure Brad. I'm loading 182 grains, 495 ball on top of 50 grains of black goodness with some 3D printed accessories. Look at that. All the way home. Take this out. Ooh, that's a musket. Load this baby up. She got her on half cock. Firing this thing a little bit today. I'm almost out of primers on my little quick thing. Full cock. Set trigger. So, what do we got here? This thing's pretty slick, ain't it? Oh, I like it. I think it's a bunch of fun. But I think the reason why you guys are watching the video, you know about muzzle loaders, but you may not know about this 3D printing stuff. It's starting to sprinkle. Oh no, my gun, my gun. Oh wait, it gets wet every time I wash it. So anyways, back to the subject at hand. Yeah, look at this stuff. It's like neat 3D printing this. I don't know how well that's focusing. But if you don't know about 3D printing, it's an additive process. So this part's printed kind of in this orientation, layer by layer. It's a hot glue gun on the end of a CNC machine with an endless roll virtually of hot glue. So it just builds up, builds up. It's great for making stuff. Sometimes it's not the best application for everything. But for this stuff, I find it's awesome. Let's check it out. Let's start with the ramrod, since that's in my hand. This is called a range rod because there's actually the ramrod itself is in the gun or in the rifle. But this, I use a range rod because this is wood, and if you screw up, you gaffle yourself, and gaffling yourself with wood, it'd be no fun at all, especially when there's all these black powdery dust mixed in. This is a range rod. In the center here is a bore protector. This one's double-ended because my range rod both has a ball pusher here, which is concave to match the shape of the ball, and on this side is what's called a jag. So it's like a one-way patch pulling device. It's threaded on the end in there. It's kind of hard to see on camera, so I could put my other tools on top of it. But this way I could run 4 patches in and out. And this works really good, and being double-ended, it's pretty much all I need. I really like it. It's marked on either end. The end closest to the pusher is marked for empty barrel here. That's all the way down. And then that makes to make sure my bore is completely clear, just to check out, start out. And then this is marked with my 50 grain load in and a ball and a 10 thousandths patch. Next up, what you guys saw is, and there's more than just what you've seen here in the start. This is what they call a ball starter. So this is a second process. So I put the powder down in, put the patch on top of the cylinder, ball on top of that. Then I use this to start it because 495 plus 10 and 10 is plus all the is bigger than 50, and it's 50 caliber bore. Between the riflings is the lands is 50 caliber 5000. So this starts it in the bore, and the whole point of this is soft lead balls. And this being a rifled gun, meaning there's grooves cut down the barrel. Sorry, I'm trying to be real general because my audience is kind of all over the place, and I'm just kind of give an overview. Round ball, a musket is smooth bore, and the ball just kind of bounces down the barrel. Not the greatest for accuracy, but it loads a lot quicker. And in the early days of the Revolutionary War and all that sort of stuff, when you did things in volleys, Neapolistic style fighting, Neapolitan fighting, this is not the ice cream, but the little dude that went around conquering Europe. But this is the ball, and it's rifled, so it fits better. But to do that, you have to start the ball into the rifling. So you do that with the ball starter, and that initially cuts the grooves. This drives it down a little bit further, the longer part. And by this point, it kind of got the grooves started in it, and you got it down far enough where you could run the old ball starter here. Or once you got the ball started, then you run the ramrod using the bore protector, so you're not running this aluminum. And it's a lot of times brass too. You just want to have something that's conductive, so it doesn't build up static charge. Runs down in, bam, 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 sets it up. And then once the ball's set down at home, you don't want to have any airspace. You prime it, you fire it, bang. But we're not talking about muzzle loaders. We're talking about the accoutrements that I have. So let me get out my little medicine pit here. So here's my medicine bag for my weapon. And to start with, the threads on the bottom of either my range rod or the stock threads on my bore is what they call a worm. So I just cut a piece of thread here, printed this little 3D bitty bit, and I got a worm on here, which is just a spring that fit the thread size. I epoxied it on, and then once it's epoxied, I pulled it out into a little screw, and when you tighten it, it tightens on the thread, reaches down in there, wipes around, grabs whatever you got stuck in the barrel, pulls it out. Pretty dang handy. Got earplugs in here, which I should probably pull them out and I won't sound like I'm yelling all the time. Just other little accoutrements, extra caps, oil. Further down in here, get it all out. And next up, the cleaning process, bore brush, and wrong size for my range rod, so I printed an adapter and it fits my range rod and my main ramrod, which is cool. The wind's picking up here, so I don't want to lose everything. Put it back in here. Oh, and I'm saving the best for last here. I got a good one here for you. This is a little Dremel screwdriver that works really good. I'm going to actually cut this so it fits my nipples, but this works good for taking down the rest of the gun, so that's handy. You guys saw the snake. This is the jag for when I'm in the field and I don't have my range rod, but I want to clean the bore out. This is threads on the end of my actual ramrod, or my I don't know. There's actually a term besides ramrod that's actually more technical than that. But yeah, that fits on there for when I'm in the field. And now, the best for last. Dun dun dun. What is this? Kind of holding it wrong. This is a ball balance. This is something I came up with because I'm casting my own little round lead balls on a little one-off lead press thing. If you guys really want to see a video on that, I guess I could do a video, but there's like 10,000 videos out on how to cast your balls. But this is, since I don't have a little grainy scale and I don't want to haul one around and I want to keep things simple and to the time, this is my little balance beam. And the reason is this one's glued in. This is a known good ball. This is just something I 3D printed that's balanced and even. This is coat hanger, so I can just hang it on my finger, keep everything free. And what this does is it checks for balls that are too light. So it's real easy to, what I do is I set a ball on it, flick a ball out, set a ball in, pick it up off the table, and then it's real easy when you pick it up off the table to see which is the light ball. It's not even, so it's, you can see that just one ball, the light one, wants to pick up. And sometimes it's real subtle, sometimes it's more than that. This one I marked real good with Sharpie, because normally I throw these right back in my lead to recast, as soon as I go through and check them and make sure they're all happy. But you could, I don't know how well you can see on camera here, but there's a little tiny dip hole in there from just avoiding the casting. And this is a way to check for them. So I just make sure I don't have any light balls. I could check them. This stays in my bag just because it's all part of my cleaning kit, but I really don't need it in the field because by the time I come out here, my balls have been checked. So anyways, that's it. That's kind of my 3D printed random junk for my hawking. I don't know, maybe at some point I'll do a video about this, but yeah, this is a kit that I put together. It's a Thompson Center kit that you have to, the brass is all rough cast, so you have to finish it all out. This is what they call a patch box, which makes no sense to me because in this time period you would add a roll of patching and cut off each individual patches. But yeah, if you cut up little tiny discs and you wanted to put them in there, yeah, great. To me, that's kind of a pain to reach down to like load your board, reach down, get it. I don't know. I keep them all in my little handedly dangly purse that's on my neck. The reason why you guys didn't see me loading powder is because my powdering flask I'm not very proud of right now. I got better stuff in the mail, but it's just kind of pouring. But nothing I want to show off and nothing I want to condone as being right. So anyways, Hawken rifle, pretty dang stoked on this thing. It is a trick. And just because I'm going to get questions, this is what they call a double set trigger. So here in the half cock position, this would be full cock. Release down, that's the nipple, that's where you put the percussion cap to fire it. But if I pull it to half cock, I could demonstrate. The rear trigger here is what they call the set trigger. So you pull that one, and it takes the slack out of the sear, which is the part that fires everything. And then that way when you touch this one, like you barely even notice my finger move here. Let me just, you hear that click? If it wasn't on the half cock position, the hammer would have dropped there. It's not good to drop your hammer on a bare nipple without a cappy happy in there. So anyways, big cappy happy. I hope you guys are all happy, doing well, and weathering life storms. But yeah, have fun out there. Mind your top knot, pilgrim. Keep your powder dry.